Okay, hi Kenny. Hello. It's so good to have you here. So good to have you. You don't know how excited I am to have you in this space.
Yeah.
I've been looking for a way for me to bring you on board. People should hear you.
Thank you
I know
so much.
people have been hearing you already, but I've not been looking for a way to just bring you on my platform. But glory to God that He led me to you and He gave me the space to come and share what He wants to share to us. So before we go into the question, I'll share the link to you now on WhatsApp so that you can
Okay.
share with people. So
So
I'm
can I,
coming.
once I minimize there, I would like to be visible.
You can try minimizing it now. Let me see if I can still see you.
Okay. What about this? Can you still see me?
No, no, I can't see you. I can't see you. You can't minimize them.
All right.
With the questions, if you want the questions, I'll just type it for you so that you can have access
Okay.
to it. Is that okay?
Okay. No problem. Yeah, no problem. I'm with you.
All right, so I've sent the link to your WhatsApp.
Okay. All right. Let me share it. Okay. Okay. So I've sent it to my status. Let me send to our group. Okay. Okay. Shared.
All right. I'm just trying to share it to the Telegram platform so people can know.
No, no problem.
Okay. So that's it. I think we can start now.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Sorry, please give me few minutes. I'm trying to look
All
for
right.
the. So Kenny, you're welcome. You are welcome to this particular platform. So before we start, I'll just give you like few minutes to introduce yourself, introduce us to what you're about to talk about, tonight. Just introduce us to it yourself, what you do, everything, and what you're about to talk to us about tonight. So over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Kitchen Tobilova, for this opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a very rare opportunity, and I'm grateful to be sharing this platform with you. It's a great privilege, and I trust that what God has started in your life, God will complete. And I also hope that this event will be a life changing one for everyone who joins us, and those who will stream later and that will be watching later as well. So I trust God that everything we'll be saying here will not just be head knowledge, but will be led and be will be guided under the utterances of the Holy Spirit. And one thing I will say about you is your resilience. And look at me asking you about new applications and how you are always ready to learn. You're always ready to go all the outs. And I celebrate your growth. Should I don't want to say, is it growth process or growth? uh, let's just say I celebrate your process, and it's something I actually look for. I don't want to say I'm looking up to it because your tenacity is very, very, very strong. I can see how you go all the way. You're on Spotify, you're on this, you have this vlog you do and all. And I celebrate your consistency, honestly. It's a whole lot. Trust me, creating content these days is a whole lot. And I really want to appreciate you for that. So I'm just using that medium to thank you for your growth process as well and your journey as well. And for those who are just meeting me for the first time, my name is Kende, formerly known as Ijasui, but now I'm married and I'm now Bolu Onipede. So Kenny Bolu
Hallelujah.
Onipede. And I graduated from Lagos State University, and I also hold a master's degree in organization behavior in University of Lagos. And currently, I'm a banker, and I'm into ministry. I'm also combining ministry. I have a ministry for women and children. And basically, we have a mandate of bringing light to nations, bringing people out of darkness and translating them into light, going to schools. We have one of our platform also give a child a dream. And one of the things we do on that platform is to go out to secondary schools. We reach out to young ones, we reach out to students, we prepare their mind for life after school, particularly for the future. And so there's a lot we are doing on ground, and it's not easy doing all this without the help of God. And so I believe that God is still taking every one of us, somewhere, and I trust God that where we are going to, we will get there and we'll achieve all our dreams in Jesus' name. So I think that's all about me for now. So
Right. Thank you. Someone says nice to meet you. To meet you. We are
thank
so
you,
happy to have
Alfred.
you. We are so happy to have you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
All right. So without wasting much of our time, let's go into the question. And the first question says that what you gain admission, before you entered school, what were you like?
Okay. All right. So I would describe before I entered school as being naive. Trust me, every teenager wants to explore, and if you are brought in a Christian home whereby you are being caged, and I'm not saying caged there are principles around you, so you just have to obey it. So when I gained admission, it was more like being naive, and at the long run, we keep improving, we keep getting to know more and more and more about life. So, like your first question, you said I was high was before getting to school. Hey, please, can you help me with that? Sorry, I'm still with you. I want to also check the questions with me as well. So, thank you. All right. So what I was like before I gained admission, like I said, I was quite naive. You don't know much things, and you're just trying to explore life. I was raised in a Christian home, and I thank God for all the trainings, all the privileges given to me by my parents, and all. So those are those things that actually made me who I am today. Trust me. So I feel that one of my questions, what I was like before I gained admission. So I think that's the answer.
So that's that's
Yeah,
nice to hear that your Christian like
I can hear you.
right?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, Tommy?
Sorry, I was just sorry. Okay, I feel that the fact that you came out from a Christian home is an advantage, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
There are some people who think because you came out from a Christian home, that's how your life is like this, that's how it is. But is it really so? Because there are many people on this platform, including me,
Yeah.
that came out from a Christian home. But we have a lot to
Mm,
say about our lives, even before we gain
yeah.
admission. So can you
Yeah.
also shed more light? Like, was it the only factor? Was it the only thing that helped you?
Okay. Well, I feel one of the things we must look at is self development, because a lot of people come out from Christian home and not everyone are made. Some people are made and some people are not made, like I would put it. So one of the things that helped me, but per se, before I gained admission to school, was that God gave me good parents and siblings who were able to guide me. Like I said, I was quite naive until, when I got to school and I started seeing life for myself. So and to God be the glory. I think in SS2 or so, SS1, I kind of rededicated my life to Christ. Sometimes you might be brought up in a Christian home and yet you feel everything you are doing is more like routine. You don't even know what you are doing. You are confused. Sometimes it looks like your parents are forcing you to just serve God and all. And at the long run, in the future, you just appreciate everything they ever did to you. You ever What were you like before? Okay. So at the long run, you just appreciate everything your parents ever did to you. So I must say that the prayers of my parents, and also honestly, that's the only factor I can trace it to, being brought up in a good environment, because that's a long way of affecting who you are in the future, even how you relate in school. I know there's some people that are brought up in good homes, and when they got to school, because of peer pressure, like I said, influence, because of the wrong people, wrong association, they became what they had today. So if you're being brought up in a good home, you're being raised in a godly home, and it's not just enough to be brought up in that home. You yourself, you must have this ambition to work on yourself and also discover yourself. I think self-discovery is very important.
Yeah. You really have a very good point. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, you stated a very great point because aside the fact that we all came out from a Christian home, we also need to discover ourselves. We also need to discover ourselves. We also need to see what they are telling us as the truth. Understand? And I'm really happy for you. I'm really happy for you. So now our second question is, when you hear the word undergraduate, what drops in your mind? When you hear
Okay,
the
like the
word
word
undergraduate.
implies. Okay. So I'm going to define it just like the way the word implies, undergraduate. When you look at the life of a graduate, you know that a graduate is somebody who is assumed to have gone through the walls of a university, has possessed required certificates, and is believed to have, achieved a reasonable amount of knowledge. You understand? So you can't compare when you just enter school to when you just finish school. You can't compare the gap, the fact, the years, the gap. You can't compare it. And that is why when you compare the person who just graduated from school and the person that is just entering school, sometimes you might see a big difference between them. You might see a very, very big difference between them. So when you hear the word undergraduate, it's more like a person who is yet to be skilled or who is unskilled, and who hasn't possessed the right, I don't want to say the right, who is still in training. Let me just use the word training, because I believe everyone has a phase in their life where they will have to go through some trainings to become whoever they are. So to become a graduate, you have to go through a training, you have to pass through a phase, you have to pass through a journey, you have to go through a journey. And so that is why they call it undergraduate, because you are yet to be satisfied. You are not yet certified. You are not yet a graduate. You are not yet a professional. So the word graduate is accumulated to when you are a professional, when it is assumed that you are certified. So let me use the word undergraduate as let me define it as being in the process of being in a training, a training, whether you are practicing, I don't want to say practicing a field, but whether you're training particularly in a particular area, a field or a specialization. So let me use that word.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Now, our third question says that what will you say is the struggle of most undergraduates? Like in general, what will you say is the struggle of what are the struggles of most undergraduates?
Okay, so the struggle of most undergraduates. Sorry, give me some seconds. All right, so you said the struggle of most undergraduate. I feel one of the struggle, or one of the most common struggle of every undergraduate or most undergraduate is concentration. The ability to concentrate. In fact, everyone has one thing or the other that is distracting them today. If your phone is not distracting you, is it that friends are distracting you? So I feel one of the struggle of most undergraduates is the ability to focus on that, that goal. For instance, if you look at the passion, some undergraduates come with that passion to when I get to school I'll be the
Mhm.
best. I
Yeah.
would I would succeed, I would finish with first class, and all of a sudden you realize that what they really really aimed, what they really really thought, their focus, what they really really dreamt of achieving, they were unable to achieve them because of
Mhm.
work. And by the time you start interrogating them, some of them have reasons. Some of them have reasons.
Yeah.
Some of them have reasons. So some people, like I said, it could be peer pressure, it could be influence. The most important thing is focus. Once you lose your focus, you can lose your ambition, you can lose your purpose, you can lose the reason why you are even existing. So I feel the struggle of most undergraduates is their inability to focus, inability to concentrate, and a lot of people don't have mentorship, or they don't have mentors. I noted something here like mentorship, and I said if you are distracted, there is no how you can achieve those aims and objectives. And you need mentors in your life. Some of us would have appreciated if there were certain people in our lives, that were there to help us at each point, or at each phase of our lives. You understand what I'm saying? So I know there are mentors that can influence in positive ways, and there are mentors that can influence in negative ways. And that is why you must prayerfully choose who to mentor you. You must pray. I believe that if some people had certain people in their lives, their life will not be where they are right now. And one thing that really helped me when I was in school was because I joined a school fellowship, and it really really helped me. I joined a school fellowship, and it really really helped me. So I feel one of the struggle of most undergraduates is lack of focus and concentration. That's the only word I
Yeah.
can use.
Okay. From the point that you said you joined an association, I actually want to
Mm-hmm.
start from that. When I was in school, there were people that would say that, oh, they cannot join student fellowship. Anything that has to do with student, they cannot join. And sometimes I wonder, and I'm like, what are you guys saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is a place where you can actually build yourself. This is a place where you are given opportunity to do things that you might not actually find somewhere else. This is a place that you can actually start building what you want to do. But you'll be like, no, like they prefer indigent church. And I'm not saying going to indigent churches is bad. I know some students that they went to indigent church all through their life. But I'm talking about engaging with youth, engaging yourself with what is happening, what the youths are doing in the church. The purpose is not even about because we are all students. The purpose is that every one of us there, we are youths, and we know that yes, people might do some silent things, but like what you said about focus. But once you are focused and you know that you are here for this, you'll be able to face it. Because many people then they will say that, oh, because of this person, because of that person. I'm like, are you going there because of the person? Think about it. Many a times in my fellowship, then you'll be hearing them saying that this person did not come to fellowship because somebody offended him. And I'm like, is that why you're coming here? Fine and good. I'm not trying to justify anybody, but you should not lose that focus. Don't lose that focus. If you are listening here and you've not joined any fellowship in your school, I'm not saying whether you're going to Indian church or not, but you are not going to any church. Find one fellowship to attend. Everybody cannot be bad. Yes, everybody cannot be bad. Find one, find one fellowship to join. Connect with them. Don't just be a Sunday medicine kind of person. Go for weekly activities. Join the workforce. That's the best way for you to actually start building yourself. Because once you leave school, I'm not saying that's the end for you, but you've missed one experience out of the many experiences you're supposed to have that should help you become a better person. So join fellowship, join an association, like what one of the speakers said, Erica, about her joining one of all these, like they had different associations with their school aside fellowship, like all these press units, all these kind of things. You can also join those ones too. Check for the ones you want and join them. Don't be shy about it. Yes, be willing to learn, be willing to serve. You cannot just get to the top like that. I don't know if you know this woman, Ayomiro Essay. She posted something about leaders, and someone asked her that what's our opinion, are leaders born or they are made? And she was like, leaders are made. That's how it is. Leaders are made. Forget that thing our parents used to say, oh mommy, oh my shaking, I gave birth to you in this one and that one. That one does not matter. If you don't work towards it, your parents will just be saying it from today to next day. You're not going to become that thing. So that's how it is. So position yourself to serve, position yourself to build yourself wherever you are. And you are in school now, that's the best time for you to do so. Thank you so much, Kenny, for shedding more light to that. Now, the fourth question
Okay.
is tell us how it was for you as an undergraduate, your challenges, the lessons, and triumph. So now this is about you. How was it for
Okay.
you as an undergraduate? What did you go through? What was the challenges you faced, how you were able to overcome, and what you have learned so far? Through that, anybody here can actually pick something that they can apply to their own life. So over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Tommy. All right. So, challenges as an undergraduate. Like I said, I wouldn't every phase normally usually have. There's always an obstacle one way or the other. Even when you're in school, you're in year one. There was a time where passing WAEC was like the most difficult thing in this life, but you overcame. And there was a time where you're in the
True.
university, passing that level too was a difficult time, and you overcame. So
True.
I think one of the challenges in school was not being able, though I was positioned in the fellowship, but I didn't really had this personal tutor, this guardian. I wish if I had had a mentor, probably I would have come out as a first class. You understand? So I was close though, but I wasn't really, I was really close to, coming out, imagine as a first class student. And like I usually tell people that the foundation really matters. I didn't really start preparing on time. Let me just use that word. So I'm talking about the challenges right now. I didn't start preparing on time. Most times when you enter school, some people they will read well, and at the long run, the passion just drops. And some people, when they enter school, they don't even know what they are doing. They are quite confused because they are still trying to balance their selves. And before
Yeah.
you know, when they enter 200 level, they start picking up. They start picking up and all. So I think it was like that for me because I was in a new environment. I was trying to adjust and all. So it was quite a lot though. But at least my 100 level result was very, very good. My 200 level result was shaky at some point. And I just really want to thank God for, like I said, having been in a fellowship really helped me. When I was in school fellowship, I was the academic secretary to see how I was, I don't want to say brilliant. I was the academic secretary, and I also was financial secretary in another set. So having that guidance, that personal, having all these big sisters, big uncles on campus, trust me, it usually help. But that's why I say you must prayerfully choose who to mentor you. Don't just jump and pick any mentor. So I wish if I had someone like that, it would have actually helped me. You understand? Then secondly, having good companies. I'll be talking about also the positive sides as well, not just the challenges. So having good companies really help. I remembered how I usually go to the library, and I don't go to library alone. I go in companies of my friends, and most times I go alone. But there are times where I go in companies of my friends. You understand? So when you see your friend reading, you say you are motivated to read. Oh, have I been unmuted since or just now? I don't know, I
No,
just
no,
saw it.
just now, just now.
Okay. So when you see your friend reading, I'm the type that when I see people reading around me, I cannot sleep. I have to read. But if people are sleeping, I can sleep. But if they are reading and I'm not reading, I have to read. So having good companies also really helped me when I was in school. And one of the lessons I also learned when I was in school, like the question says, your challenges, lessons, and triumph. One of the lessons I learned, or one of the things I am happy that I learned when I was in school, and not just learned right now, was leadership, taking up leadership positions, leadership role. I was not the outspoken type. I was very timid. I was the keeping to myself person. But trust me, leadership position brought me out, maybe who I am today. I remember one of my pastor when I was on campus did public speaking class for every one of us, and he told me to come and speak. I almost wanted to enter the ground. I didn't do well because I was shy. I was more confident and all. But one of today I can't. If you tell me to face crowd, though that nervousness can be there sometimes. So, but you can't compare it to when I was still struggling with it. When I was in school. And so one of my triumph was being able to overcome timidity. I was confident, I was bold, and so it really really helped me. Taking up leadership position really really helped me when I was in school. So I was very bold. It brought out the best in me, made me realize what I can do. And I remember when I was in school also, I started getting involved in events. Sometimes I'll Google events in Lagos and I'll just go there just to attend. I wish I started earlier. Probably I would have gotten a lot of opportunities. There are so many opportunities that have come my way, and I didn't really I flagged them off. So it was when I was like in my final year, I started taking them serious. So sometimes I will research about events in Lagos. I will go to the island, go to these events. I was just going to events just to learn. So I was not just going there for going sake. I was looking for events that would help me positively. Like I said, I got interested in leadership position because I was placed in one, and it brought out the best in me. So I was always looking out for programs, and till now, even when it comes to going for events, maybe concerts, I'm always interested. I don't feel it's a burden. I'm always interested because that was how I actually built myself when I was on campus, particularly when I was in my final year. So, like I said, one of the triumphs I had was being able to overcome myself, timidity. I had boldness, I had confidence, and the lesson, particularly, the lessons is just follow God, hear God, hear God very well, hear God very well, and ensure you are working with God one in one, and also be involved in I don't want to say be involved in fellowship activities. Trust me, they help. I'm not saying you should be at some people overdo things on campus. I'm not saying you should be going to church every day. There's a way you can balance it. There are many
Yeah,
people that they were in school campus or fellowship and they came out with first class even as a president of a fellowship. So
yeah,
it happened like that when I was serving. There were different people that were serving and they still came out as first class. So you serving God does not mean you should abandon your brain. Serving God does not mean you should abandon your books and all. There is balance to it. Even Daniel had an excellent spirit. He was serving God. He was
yeah.
also serving government. So he had an excellent spirit. So what really helped him, like I said, taking up leadership position, and he started in the church. In the church. So I think I've been able to answer that. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Okay, the part you mentioned about fellowship is actually correct. There were people that I know that would always go to fellowship and will not go to class. You want to use prayer to replace, them reading their book. Although when I was in school, I wasn't so into fellowship stuffs. I used to tell myself that thankfully I joined the workforce when I was 100 level. If I did not join work when I was 100 level, I don't think I would have functioned very well when I was on campus, because being the fact that I was already a worker 600 level gave me this reminder not to misbehave, although I still misbehaved, but there was still this consciousness of being a worker. So I thought, what if I was not a worker? It would have been worse than that. But then thank God for His grace and helping me and everything. But then, if you are watching this, I hope you are pick from the fact that she said she wished she had started before. If you notice, almost all the speakers were saying the same thing. Erica mentioned the same thing, that she wished she had started before what she's doing presently. She wished she had started before. Now, I think Joseph also mentioned something like that. And I also mentioned it also, that I wish I had started all these things before. But then we're not saying this because we regret anything, right? We are saying this to tell you that now that you are there, now, if you're even a secondary school graduate, this is an advantage for you. Now that you've not entered, start preparing your mind for the things that you are going to be involved in, the positive things that you are going to be involved in when you go to school. So pick from our points now, or even if you're in school already, pick from our points now. Look at where she said that she joined fellowship. She involved herself. Stop hiding. Stop hiding. Stop being shy. I said something one day. I think I was telling myself, I thought about the fact that I was shy from when I was very young. I was shy from when I was very young. And I was thinking about, why was I even shy when I was young? Why? Then I remember the fact that I was shy to the extent that I did not like saying my full name. Like when you ask me that, what's your name? I'm like, my name is Tommy. I don't like saying Tommy by anything. So I knew that I was not shy. I was not shy. I just hated anything that has to do with bringing myself, my name, my personality out there. So I always ran away from anything that has to do with responsibility. So if you're that kind of person, you need to let go, because it's not going to take you anywhere. That's it. It's not going to take you anywhere. So this is the time for you to build yourself. You are in uni already. Take up responsibility. Stop running away. When they call for workers interview, go for workers interview. When they call for workers training, go for workers training. Everyone you see there, we were not perfect when we went there, but we were shaped. We were shaped. The outcome of everything that we went through then, this is the outcome. This is what we are doing. It has shaped us. So you should experience this thing, because it's definitely going to shape you. Definitely going to shape you. And you mentioned something again that has to do with, having someone to have tutored you, like a mentor. And this is the part that I want to say, that every undergraduate, they come with a sense of independence. Like, you cannot tell me what to do. And it is going to affect you. It is going to affect you. If you are an undergraduate and you are coming with the sense that you don't want anybody to talk to you, you don't want anybody to tell you what to do because you feel you are not independent, you are going to lead yourself into the ditch where nobody is going to find you. So be open to submission. Be open. Did I say submission? Be open to learning. Be open to learning. When you hear tutorial, when they call for tutorial, whether you have learned it in class or not, go there. When you see people trying to teach on a particular topic, go there, learn, be involved. You can also Google for programs that you can attend, just like the way Kenny said that she will search for programs on Google just for her to attend. You can Google for programs and you will attend. Stop sitting and saying that you are going to rely on your certificate or on what you know. Low key. Most of us, when we say we know something, we don't know anything. So be open to learning. You learning does not mean that you don't know anything. That is how it is. So let's go of pride. Let's go of pride. Be humble. It is for yourself. It is for your own good. It's not for my good. That's how it is. It's not. That's how it is. So I hope that you've learned one or two things from what she has said, from our own brief story concerning our life as an undergraduate. So we're going to go into the next question. Kenny, are you with us?
Yeah.
All right. So the next question says that, what are the things you discovered about yourself even as an undergraduate? What are the things that you discovered about yourself even as an undergraduate?
All right, thank you so much. So, one of the things I started discovering about myself, like I said, when you're in 100 level, you might not know so much yet. 200 level, you might not know so much yet. So, maybe when you're in the system properly, you're in 300 level. Okay, from 200 level, you would begin to have knowledge. So, one of the things I discovered about myself. So, I think from 200 level, I started taking up leadership position in school. And one of the things it did to me, like I said earlier, it brought out the me in me. I became outspoken. I used to be a person who cages a lot of things inside. I could be timid, I could be shy at times. But I started coming out, I started meeting new people. I was outspoken. So those are the things I discovered about myself. I discovered I could do certain things well. I discovered I could lead. I discovered that when you try something, I discovered that if you don't try anything, you can't believe you can do it. You can't believe in yourself. So you need to keep trying out things. You need to keep doing, trying out things to know that you are actually capable of doing those things. So I think those are the few things actually I discovered about myself.
Yeah, that is actually nice. And for me, I would say that one thing I discovered about myself when I was in school was the fact that I could not that I was not writing. I don't know if you remember Kenny that sorry that I have to bring this back. But then you remember that when we were in secondary school, there was this kind of book that we used to write then. I've forgotten the name, something about love, something. I don't know. But every one of us had that book, Slum Book. I don't know if you remember Slum Book. So I remember that I was also part of those that was writing Slum Book. So anytime I write my own Slum Book, I always look for another book to write. So I was already writing before, right from secondary school. But when I got to uni, that was when I knew that I could write. So I remember then that I was writing that, oh, so those things that we're doing there were things that were part of me, but I did not know of. So university is like an open space for you to discover yourself. It's an open space for you to reflect on yourself. In university, there is no Bola come and wash plate, Bola come and sweep the floor. Although you do that personally, but then there is nobody restricting you from doing anything. So you can have access to take a day just to think about what you want to do. You can have access to sit down in your room. No, don't go to that friend's place. Sit down on a Saturday. Sit down and think about a business that you want to do. Think about an initiative that you want to take up. Like, don't just stay on campus and just stay because of grades. Because on the long run, grades will not rescue you. That is it. So you have enough space. You have, if you are spending 4 years, you have good 4 years to discover what you want to do, the life you want to live. You have good 4 years to do that. If you are spending 6 years, you have 6 years to discover yourself. Now look at Kenny. Now look at the things she said she discovered about herself. And did you know that those things are helping her till now? Those things are helping her till now. So that's how it is. So you are an undergraduate, you are in secondary school, or whatsoever thing, this is the best time for you to discover yourself. This is the best time for you to discover yourself. And do you have any other thing you want to add about the things that you discovered about yourself in school? That's all. Okay, so we move to the sixth question. It says that how were you able to maximize your time as an undergraduate? Now you said that you were in leadership position. I'm very sure that it was not just it was not just in one particular level. Probably it was in all the levels, or it was even in till you graduated, you understand? So how were you able to maximize your time? How were you able to balance these things? How were you able to create time for A and create time for B? How were you able to, set your time to a particular thing and you were able to achieve that thing? How were you able to maximize your time?
All right, thank you so much. Like you mentioned, balance. A person who is not balanced might you might find yourself doing something more than the others, and you might actually be it could actually be draining when you're involved in a particular thing more than
Yeah.
others. So you must learn to balance things. If you are involved in church activities, you're not giving your book, you're not paying attention to your books and all. You can know the end result. Actually, you can know the result by yourself. You can even judge your results. So one of the things I learned, like I said, I was in leadership position, I was in school, I was reading, I was also going to library, I was in the hostel. So we must just learn balance. And thank God during our days, social media was not that, though there was social media though, but you can't compare the way it's
It
distracting
was not
people now.
loud.
You can't compare. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I said it was not loud. Like
Okay,
then.
social media, yes. It's not like there was no social media. There was even WhatsApp when I was in school. But it
And
wasn't
now.
as serious as now that a lot of activities is going on WhatsApp. Everybody just wants to be on social media. And social media is like the new trend now. If you're not on social media, I don't think you are living on this earth. So like I said, being able to maximize my time as an undergraduate, I was really able to prioritize. There are times you might be weak, but you must understand that as you are going to church, as you are serving God, you must also devote your time to your book, because your parents don't want to hear that I sent you to school, you went to do church and all. Nobody wants to hear that. So we must learn balance. I feel there is a way you can. Everybody knows what works for them. There are different things. I believe personally, for me, one thing that I usually do, I used to set my results myself. I set my results myself. So when I'm doing my result, I must work towards it to ensure that I achieve that thing. So sometimes I don't know if I have a template. Yeah, but there's a way I usually set all my results. I'm like, I want to have 5.0 in this. I want to have 5 points. I don't know if I have something like that here, but let me check if I do. Let me check. I'm checking my journal if I do. Yeah, it's not here. I have in one of my books how I would write out my grade and what I want to achieve. I usually have them. Maybe I've removed them. So I'll let show you the one I prepared for my MSc as well, because that's like the recent one. So I usually, like I said, being able to set a goal and you being able to work towards it to achieve it. So everybody, you must just understand what works for you. That's the only way I can describe it. Understand what works for you. Some people cannot read in the night. It's only in the afternoon, during the day. Some people they can maximize their night so much they can't read during the day. So just know what works for you. Know what works for you. That's all.
Okay, that's actually a good point. Know what works for you. And another thing I will add is that remember the reason why you are in school. Yes, we have to remember why you came to school. You have to remember, you have to remember that your primary assignment for you being in school. I'm not saying that you should not involve in other activities, but then you need to realize why exactly you land here. Why exactly are you in OAU? Why exactly are you Unilag? So when you remember that, you'll be able to place that at the top. Then other things will follow. So nothing is going to replace the main thing that you've been called to do. Nothing should replace your primary assignment. And also the leadership position or the other things that you are doing should not lack too. So you must learn balance. And one way I'm going to give you is that plan your things out. If you are doing three activities or you are holding up three responsibilities on campus, you need to list out what you do, and you need to plan days for them. Like you can say Monday, I'm going to read my book from so time to so time. Then after that time, you're going to pick up this particular thing to prepare, and so on and so forth. You are not fixing everything in your head. If you box everything in your head, you will not be able to plan anything. So put them down. You can even use all these Google tasks, Microsoft tasks to follow up your plans for the day. Don't box everything in your head. Don't say you know it, you have it. It's a lie. One will definitely fall short. One will definitely fall for the other. It can be your school, it can be the position you've been given, it can be one of the activities, it can even be if you are doing a business, it can be your business. So plan things out. The day you want to go to market to restock, plan the day. The day you want to go to more meeting on the other, plan it. Make sure that nothing is affecting that time. Make sure that the when you are in meeting and your mate are in class, they are supposed to be in class, but you are in meeting. Although I know there are times where you will take risks and everything, but remember, let it be in your mind constantly that you are here to study. And then let it be your mind on the people that are depending on you, on the people that that you are sent to. If you're in a leadership position, remember that there are people that are coming after you, they are under you. So when you remember the responsibilities you are supposed to be doing, I feel that that will give you a sense to plan. That will give you a kind of sense that you should not fall short in anything. So have it in your mind constantly. Have it in your mind constantly, and do not lose it. And I hope that you learned something from what I'm saying. Let's move to the next question. Okay, the last question actually. Last question is that any advice, this is advice time, as much as you can give us, as much as you can give us. Okay, we've done the seventh question. We've done the seventh question. Okay, yeah, we've done it. Okay, now it says, any advice you have for high school graduates,
Okay.
undergraduate, even graduates, any advice you have for them?
All right, thank you so much. So my advice for high school, let me start with high school. That is those who are in secondary school and maybe they are done with school. My advice is
Yeah.
that you get busy. Get busy. There are some people that they will be lucky, they will get admission immediately. And there are some people that they might not be lucky. And so while you are waiting, get busy. I remember when I was still waiting for admission, though I was lucky quite. The year I finished school, the following year I gained admission. In fact, it was that same year I gained admission, I resumed school the following year. But while I was waiting, during that period, I had to go and learn computer training because I felt I cannot just be sitting down at home and not doing anything. So I had to go and learn computer training, correct draw, and even though I'm not even using those things till date, but I just had to just get busy. I can't just be sitting down at home not doing anything. So as an high school student, and probably you are still in secondary school, focus on your academics. It is very easy to be distracted as a teenager. I'm telling you, teenagers are the most, they are one human being that they get too distracted because they want to evolve. They want to be, they want to know what is in vogue. They want to
True.
blend. Teenagers are very, very, I feel the life of a youth, or the life of the outcome of your life generally is dependent on how you lived, your teenage in your teenage years. So teenagers would love to explore and all, but I would advise every teenager, probably those that are in high school, focus, know what you want, know what you want. I know when you are trying to apply SS1, SS2, particularly when you're doing SS1, you say you have dreams to be a medical doctor, you want to be a pilot and all. Whatever it is you want to become, just endeavor to focus and do not be distracted. And if you are done with school, like I said, get a soft skill or a hard skill, learn something. Then my advice to undergraduates, while you are in school, don't just go to school and say you're only studying book. In fact, it's more like a waste of time. In fact, the word school itself is, there's some people should say that school usually pass through them, or I pass through school. You must ensure that you pass through school and don't let the school pass through you. You understand? So ensure that you yourself, you pass through school, and you are not just in school to be learning mathematics, statistics and all those things. As an undergraduate, your morals will be checked. As an undergraduate, your IQ will be checked. The way you think, the way you reason will be checked. So I would also advise, also as undergraduates, do professional courses aside your main course. I remember in my 300 level, I had to do project management as a certification course while I was still in school. I also had to do one accounting software, a contemporary accounting software, something application. Also, I had to learn how to use all these softwares for accounting, even though I'm not using it today. But I had to try and learn it. You understand? So keep learning, keep learning. The biggest room for improvement is it that yeah, I think it's the room where they learn I'm trying to remember that adage. But the biggest room of improvement is when you are learning, when you keep learning, when you keep learning. And for graduates that you graduated school, it's a whole lot. Honestly, being a graduate is a whole lot. I feel, or I just want to advise. Don't let me talk based on feelings right now. As a graduate, while you are waiting to serve NYSC, get a skill. It is very important. The way Nigeria is going these days, you cannot just be running. There are so many people that studied something in school, but they are not doing it. They are not doing what they studied in school. They are doing what they learned. They are doing what they learned. I remember my twin sister particularly. She has a lot of skills. She's a photographer, an event decorator, surprise, everything. So if you call her today for any job, she's available. She's available because of what she has built herself on, how to monetize her skills and everything. And so I am, as graduates, don't just rely on the fact that you have academic qualification. Go all the way, get a skill that can put food on your table at any point in time. Particularly for me, I had to learn baking. I learned baking because I was like, "Ah, what else can I learn?" And probably the fact that my twin sister had a lot of skills was like oppressing. I'm telling you. So I had to ensure that I get one, and I ensured that I practiced. I remember I was selling small chops when I was serving as NYS at serving in NYC at Ibadan. I was also baking. I was selling peanuts. I was making them. I was selling chin chin. I was making them myself. I'm a baker. But sometimes you might not even practice what you are doing, but then get a skill. Those are like supports to whatever you have studied. So as a graduate, like I said, get a skill that is paying. Some people are into I heard that the thing that is paying now is all this front end, back end, engineering, all those things that are paying now. Whatever you shall
Yeah,
find yourself, just ensure that you have
tech
money.
bro and Texas.
Just ensure that you have money. Ensure you can put food on your table, honestly,
Yeah,
because certificate alone is not enough. It's
it's
not
not.
enough. So you must have that skill, that art skill. And lastly, just involve God in all what you are doing. Without God, you are nothing. With God, you can receive strategies. See, there are some people that I'm not talking about you now receiving strategies and not implementing it. Though. God will not do what you are supposed to do. God will not do what
Exactly.
you are supposed to do. God will give you the ideas. He will give you the strategies. He will bless you. In fact, most people that are creative today, they got those ideas. Some people have it inborn, and some people might just have it based on their. Some might never have it based on their partnership with God. They might have it inborn, but when they now have a good fellowship with the Holy Spirit, it will now become very, very strong. So I feel your skill together with God will make you very, very valuable. Will make you will make people looking for you, will make people looking for you. Even the gift of a man will make people look for him or her. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel that's just it. Involve God in all what you are doing. That's my closing remark for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And one part that you said that most of the thing that you learn, you don't end up, using it. Some people might. This is where some people will start saying that why would they learn it when they are not gaining anything from it? Why? It is important that you do. I tell you, it is important that you do. Joseph mentioned something about doing a business. The first speaker, he said that he started with graphics design business. After doing graphics design business, he saw that it wasn't matching up anymore. He went to data business, selling data. After he was in data, he saw that it not make sense again. He left it. He went to selling Jota. Can you see? So you learning, you might not eventually use it, right? But still learn it. There can be opportunities that will come. There can be opportunities that will come, and they will just tell you to do it. Take for example, where I work, all of a sudden they just say I should, create video, I should edit video. Think about it. I'm not a video editor. I'm not, but I know how to do it because I learned it for myself and because everybody is learning it. But now look at where it came out from me. Am I supposed to tell him that, oh, sir, I cannot do it though?
No, I'm not. And the first time I edited for him, he said, "Oh, nice, this is good." And I didn't. I don't have certificates for video editing. I don't. But going to YouTube and doing everything, so you might not need it. You might think you don't need it, and someday somehow, that is it. Someday somehow, you just start doing it. Look at Kenny now. She said she learned baking, but it was useful for her. And she might not know there can just be one opportunity that will just come and they'll be like, "Oh, bake, you're looking for a baker neighbor." She'll be like, "Oh, I know how to bake. Look at it." So that's how it is. So learn a skill. Learn a skill. You will need it. You will definitely need it as an undergraduate. If you're an undergraduate, you have an advantage. If you're an high school graduate, you have a greater advantage. A greater advantage. And if you're a graduate, you also have an advantage because there's no too late. That is it. When you think it's too late, it's too late. I don't know what I want is to answer you, but then you can start now. You can start now. You can start now. You can definitely start now. You say whatever you learn will always come in handy someday. Yes, that is it. You can start now. It is not too late for you. Don't regret. Don't even stay in regret. That was one of the things that me and Erika said that although we feel that we should, we wish that we have started before, but then we don't regret anything. We don't regret. We thank God for where we are. So thank God for where you are and start doing something. God will not do what you are supposed to do. God will not do what you are supposed to do. And I hope you've been blessed tonight. I hope that you've been inspired to take a step. I hope that you are not, feeling bad about anything. Or I hope that this would actually revive your hope. You that you've lost hope, you that you are stuck, you don't have an idea of what you want to do. I hope that this, will actually open your mind to the things that you are supposed to do. Thank you so much, Kenny. I was going to say that before you left, but probably network or so. But thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. It's so amazing to hear from other people, and that's the reason why I brought different people to this platform so that we can learn from them, so that we can hear their story. Because as me, I came here and I'm just saying what I think. You might be thinking that it's only pertaining to her, but then if you hear from 7 people, at least it's enough to say they are not lying. It's enough to say that it is true. So that's how it is. That's how it is. So thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. We celebrate you, and we are all about your growth. That is it. We are all about your growth. We really want you to grow. We want to help you to rise. We want to help you to rise. Okay, so she's back. I'm going to have that. So I was about to thank you. I was about to thank you. But I already thank you already, thinking that maybe you had network issues or you thought you were done. But thank you so much, Kenny. It's such a privilege. So I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for coming on board, for honoring us. I know it was a short notice. That's why I'm surprised that all of you were able to make it. And I'm not holding anybody for not being able to make it at a particular day. But thank you so much for giving us your time, for sharing your experience with us, and for inspiring us. We've been inspired. We've been inspired. I have been inspired. And I know that people watching this or those that will still watch it will also be inspired. So, do you have any last word for us before we call it a day?
All right, thank you so much, Tommy, for this opportunity. Um, I feel I've said everything that I need to say. The most important
Thank
thing
you.
is just put God first. Once you put God first, life will be balanced for you. Once you put God first, things will go well for you. God will outdo Himself in your life, in your ministry, whatever you are doing. Just keep putting God first. Like I said, some people are born, they have this inborn creativity within them. But when they partner with God, when they partner with the Holy Ghost, they'll begin to receive creative, like strange creative ideas. So that is what happens when you partner both your skills with the Holy Ghost. You have a massive result. You have a massive result. So whatever you have right now, always engage God. If you have a business, a personal business, engage God. Ask God for strategies. Ask God for revelation. And there are some people that are not born create. They are not born to be very creative like that. And like Tommy will say, always learn. Go to YouTube, learn. That's the only way you can become. That's the only way you can become. Oh. The only place, like I said, the largest room for improvement is when you are learning. When you keep learning, that's when you know that you are improving. That's when you are improving. So don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. As undergraduates, don't give up. You are still in the training process. Like I said earlier, that the word undergraduates and graduates are two different words. A graduate is somebody who has gone through a process and who has what an evidence for what he or she has gone through. He or she has that certification, that professionalism. It is assumed that a graduate is somebody who has that. Why do you think parents celebrate their children when they come out of school? It is believed that they already have acquired an amount of knowledge. They are certified. They are they are now fully certified to be able to practice whatever they've learned. But as a graduate, it is assumed that you are still in training. As an undergraduate, rather, it is assumed that you are still undergoing training. And so don't check out of the process. Give it your best. Go all the way out for yourself. Involve in activities. Some people, their life is so boring. They are just reading bookworm, but nothing else is even showing forth. Like I said, I was involved in school activities, and I was reading my book. I was a leader in fellowship, and my life was not boring. And my life was not boring. So get involved in school activities, play ball, get involved in, is it circular? I don't know if they call it circular activities, but just don't just say you are doing academics alone. Get involved in whatever is going on. I'm telling you, a lot of people have gotten opportunities by serving. Either they served probably as, I'm not talking about church right now. Some people maybe they were just debating on campus and they just got that connection to travel out. I know somebody like that in my school. All what he was doing in the school was debate. He would debate, he would win for the school, he would bring prizes. It's not like the guy is even really brilliant like that, but at least he's intelligent for you to be able to debate and win other people. Today the guy is not in Nigeria. He got scholarship through what? Debating, competition, winning practice, winning prizes rather for the school. So like I said, get involved. Don't just say you are reading and you're not involved in fight. It will be boring. I don't know how you want to live your life like that. It's boring, honestly. So these are the last a few remarks I have for you. And thank you so much for your time. It's so good to be here. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you so much,
Thank
Catherine. God
you.
bless you. God bless you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless you. Good night and have a wonderful time. May you guys see your husband. Enjoy yourself. Bye. Okay. And we are done. We are done. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you had a nice time here. If you've not invited your friends, are you a good person? Are you a good person? You cannot be a good person. You cannot. I'm telling it to your face. So invite your friends. Invite your friend. Let them learn what you are learning. Share it to your WhatsApp status, your groups. Tell people about it. That okay, we are learning something here. Especially if you have secondary school graduates in your area and you want them to learn something. Tell them. Play the video for them. If you don't have phones, you can even tell them with your mouth like this is what I learned. So just spread the word, tell people about it. Don't just hold it to yourself. And I pray that God is going to give you the wisdom to apply everything that we're going to be saying here. You will not just learn, you will not just gain knowledge, but it's going to give you the wisdom. It's going to direct you. It's going to give you ideas of how to use these things that you are learning in the name of Jesus. So have a lovely night, everyone. Thank you so much. Shout out to my mama. A round of applause. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much. You inspire us. We are all here by the grace of God and by your grace. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you. God bless you so much. Have a lovely night. We'll continue next week, Thursday. Our speaker is coming up next week, Thursday, and next week, Saturday. We have two speakers next week. I'm so excited. All right, so stay tuned. If you're in the Telegram group, I'm going to share the link when it's time. So don't worry, you're going to have the links. Thank you guys so much. Have a lovely night. Bye. You really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Alfred. Thank you. Okay.